Romantic.
Romantic?
Dreamy.
Huh? Candela? Janice? Look at her face. She's so horrified. She's like, did you see all that? Hi. How long have you been here?
Uh-huh.
Look at her face. It got so mature for right now.
I wanted to apologize for what happened the other day. It was extremely rude of me.
She's all, I saw your interaction with him. Marriage. Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh.
She's, she's reenacting it.
Don't worry about it.
Oh gosh.
Thank you, my lord.
Candela's making this so much more embarrassing.
Not my lord. The way you called me before was fine. Oh, my lord, but are we close enough to address each other so intimately?
Oh jeez.
That kind of thing bothers me not.
And Anna, run! Just leave the scene.
If it is your wish, I shall be happy to oblige. It is my wish, dear Anna. Sweetie. Anna, oh Anna, may I ask you something? The face's expressions. Speak your mind, sweetie. Do you know about mana potions and this madhouse?
Are we about to sit through her whole reenactment?
Probably. Alas, sweetie, I know not about them, but I will go to the ends of the earth to find out. I thank you, my dear Anna. It's not like I'm doing this for you.
What's that supposed to mean? I've never said anything like that. You admit you said everything else? No! And what is Ibaka? That's idiot in Japanese.
The sofa cushion felt nice on Aiden Wolf's back. Even a dragoon would get tired after all that walking. He recognized the name feeling of comfort from the man sitting across from him, but Colton Sherwood's relief was probably more from knowing the boy he had been worrying about all afternoon had returned safely. Aiden glanced at Johan Poe. The professor still looked as energetic as ever. At sundown, Sherwood had invited Aiden and Johan inside. They now sat around a small coffee table in the living room. For a while, they just savored the silence. Sherwood's behavior today was puzzling. Aiden had been investigating Eclipse on the assumption that it was just a front for Sherwood's illegal dealings. He still suspected Sherwood to be using inmates for his own benefit, but the alienist's worry about Drake today had seemed genuine. A little excessive, in fact. On the other hand, Aiden remembered Oriel Sherwood had been able to maintain her composure and seemed less worried about Drake's disappearance. Her reaction wasn't incriminating in any way, but something about it bothered Aiden. If only one side of the Sherwood couple was behind the illegal business, Aiden might have to consider a scenario in which the wife was the mastermind while the husband was kept in the dark. Aiden's thoughts were interrupted by a scream that sounded distant, muffled, but still very clear. He pricked his ears. The barely audible scream continued. Was it Drake? No, Aiden guessed the voice belonged to somebody even younger. Wait, hadn't Johan mentioned a scream earlier? Aiden looked at the professor, and indeed it was clear that he had heard the same thing. This time Aiden spoke up. What's that? What's that? Is someone screaming? Ah, you heard it too? Don't worry, Colton Sherwood assured them. It's one of the boys. He regularly uses the seclusion room. The seclusion room? Yes, we have a small room at the back of the building where anyone can go in and yell as loud as they want. We tried to make it soundproof, but as you can tell, it's an arduous task. That's an interesting room.
They've been like, can I go see? Can I just make sure you're telling the truth? What if they're torturing people? Look what they were doing to Janice. They froze her, they shocked her.
Yeah. The screaming stopped. After a minute of silence, they could hear the weak sound of a door opening and closing, followed by fading footsteps. Professor, Sherwood broke the silence. Is there someone you hate so much that all you want to do is kill them? Oh, that's a scary question. Johan looked taken aback by the question.
He's like, are you insinuating I'm the person you hate and you want to kill me?
No, and I hope I never will.
Same here. Jeez.
What about you, Commander?
Jeez, this got dark.
Someone Aiden wanted to kill? Well, there was one such person. But he was no longer alive. No, sir, he answered simply.
Wouldn't it count, though, that there was someone that he hates so much he wanted to kill? Even if he's dead.
Yeah. Yep. That would count. That boy hates himself so much that he wants to kill himself.
No.
Oh, man. This story got dark.
Man, it has its points where it gets real dark real quick.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's not Drake.
Yeah, that's true.
But I still feel bad for that boy, because that boy probably hasn't done anything to anyone.
Yeah. Sherwood stared at an empty spot on the wall. Already tried once.
That's sad.
It is sad. Neither Ida nor Johan said anything in response, so the alienist continued. He used the levitation spell to fly as high as he could, reaching the height of a 5-story building before letting go of the spell. Ew. For whatever reason, he did recast the spell at the last second. It didn't completely stop his fall, but it slowed him down enough to not kill him instantly.
I hope they haven't been letting him go out after that.
Yeah. A doctor managed to cast Revive on him in time. The doctor sent him here right away. He was lucky he didn't die, Aiden said. Sherwood flashed a bitter smile. I wonder if he would agree with you. He doesn't want to die anymore, does he? Who knows? Why would he save himself if he truly wanted to die? Could just be survival instincts, Sherwood mused. The same instincts that make it impossible to commit suicide by just holding your breath. Your body will try to breathe involuntarily. Or perhaps he just wasn't ready to become a murderer. You see, Commander, someone who commits suicide has 2 roles to play, the victim and the murderer. Maybe the boy was ready to die, but not to kill. Even though his first attempt ended in failure, he may still be suicidal. He may want to try again. In most madhouses, this boy would never be given a mana potion. He's a danger to himself. You still give him mana potions then? The professor inquired. Should I take away his magic? Well, if it is for his own good. Is it though? I understand why some madhouses choose to take away magic from inmates, but I have an inmate who can't use magic at all. How could I force the very same madness onto another inmate? Johan muttered. I've always been curious about her madness. Magic deficiency disorder. It's a rare condition. It's rather unfair, that she has to live in a madhouse just because she can't use magic. I mean, aside from that, Janice thinks and behaves like a normal person, does she not? Being able to use magic is not just because, Professor. Janice lives here because society needs her to be here. Think about it, society is made up of people who interact with each other and work together. Since this group of mostly strangers happens to be made up of magicians, the way they function together is centered around the thing they can easily work with, magic. It just makes sense. It's practical. It's the best way, given the circumstances, for people to move forward together. So in order to function and contribute to a benefit from society, people need magic. Those who can't use magic are an inconvenience to everyone, not just themselves. I don't know why I'm switching, but whatever. It is in the best interest of society, therefore, to put those who can't use fast magic into madhouses. Maybe it's unfair, but it's the way society was designed. Ultimately, it's working as intended. And this is true of all kinds of lunacy. People with constant mood swings are difficult to work with. People with hallucinations make trouble for everyone. Those with suicidal thoughts are worrying. Society sends all these people away to madhouses.